There's a stunning new replace at the Shanquella Robinson case. A Mexican reporter simply launched Nevergaforcine snapshots displaying numerous humans dressing and shifting Shanquella's frame after she changed into a tact in a motel room in Mexico. However, no matter most of these new info coming out, there is nevertheless no justice for the Robinson own circle of relatives, and lovers are involved. A person is making an attempt to cowl up this situation. But what precisely did the brand new snapshots screen approximately Shankella's very last moments? And will those snapshots assist the research or make the case even greater puzzling? It's been over months on the grounds that 25 years antique North Carolina local Shanquella Robinson changed into observed useless in a motel room in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, but no arrests were made to date. The Robinson-owned circle of relatives currently held a rally for Shanquella in Charlotte, North Carolina, to have a good time Shankella's life, however, additionally to name for justice. The first factor that younger humans need to do is choose up a telecell smartphone and record. And I simply desired to say, own circle of relatives. What changed into intended to humiliate this younger woman grew to become round and delivered this younger woman to the world. Shanquella's father, Bernard Robinson, additionally currently regarded on Morning in America, and mentioned how the own circle of relatives has been torn aside with the aid of using this tragedy. And he stated he desires all 6 humans allegedly concerned in Shanquella's case extradited to Mexico. I ain't understanding approximately no Mexico Cabo. Any buddies? So known as buddies? I need to final certainly considered one among them over there, now no longer simply one. Now, earlier than we cross on to speak approximately those new snapshots that have been currently launched, let's speedy cross over a few context, due to the fact this situation simply maintains getting greater puzzling with the aid of using the day. On October 29, 2022, 25 years antique Shanquella Robinson changed into observed. At a Cabo San Lucas resort, in which she had arrived the day earlier than with 6 humans she conceived have been her buddies. Around 2:00 p.m. on October 29, a person from the inn known as a health practitioner from the American Medical Center and knowledgeable them that a resident on the inn changed into now no longer feeling well. Around the equal time, certainly considered one among Shanquella's buddies known as Shanquella's mom, Salamander, and instructed her that Shanquella had alcohol poisoning and that a health practitioner changed into at the manor. To have a look at her, stated, well, what is incorrect with it? And he stated alcohol poison. I failed to recognize what alcohol poison changed into. However, he stated, the health practitioner is at the manor. And I stated, well, how do you realize alcohol poison if the health practitioner hasn't arrived? But the preliminary police file said that the health practitioner arrived inside an hour and observed a girl in solid circumstance, however dehydrated, disoriented, verbally unresponsive, not able to communicate, and acting to be intoxicated. The health practitioner reportedly instructed Shanquella's buddies that Shanquella need to visit the hospital. However, they refused. Shanquella's mom additionally requested the person who known as her why they failed to take Shanquella to the hospital. And he essentially made up a tale approximately clinical insurance. Because of this, that none of those humans definitely attempted to assist Shanquella. I stated, well, why? You cannot take it to the hospital. Take it to the hospital. And he stated, where they are saying you need to have coins money. I stated, well, she has insurance. And he stated she desires approximately $5,000 to be visible withinside the emergency room. Meanwhile, Shanquella's circumstance worsened, and consistent with the preliminary police file, she commenced to have problem respiration and her pulse dropped. An ambulance changed into known as, however, unfortunately, it changed into 2 past due, and Shanquella Robinson surpassed away. They stated that she changed into accountable withinside, the ambulance of seeking to suscitate her. He stated he changed into sorry she's Shinko had surpassed. He stated it much like that. Just like that. He wasn't even emotion dissatisfied or not anything approximately it. But the conduct of Shanquella's buddies isn't always the simplest suspicious thing approximately this situation. Charlotte Observer has on the grounds that acquired Shanquella's post-mortem file, which absolutely contradicts the preliminary police file. The police file claimed that Shanquella changed into in solid circumstance whilst the health practitioner arrived on the inn. However, the post-mortem file states that Shanquella suffered numerous accidents to her backbone and neck and died inside 15 minutes of maintaining them. Besides that, neither the police file nor the demise certificates had stated Shanquella having alcohol poisoning. Because of this, that the individual that known as Shanquella's mom lied to her and maximum probable attempted to cowl up what happened. Shanquella's buddies, regarded with inside the press because the Cabo Six, all lower back to America after some days. And with inside the meantime, Shanquella's mom obtained any other peculiar name from a nameless man or woman telling her that her daughter changed into concerned in a combat previous to her demise. I were given a name from somebody. I failed to even recognize who it changed into, and they stated that it changed into over there combating that girl, and that is the manner they left it, much like that. So a person simply known as you stated that, after which hung up, say they changed into over there combating. How they preserved telling alcohol poison, but the Cabo Six saved mendacity to Shanquella's mother, and that they even got here to go to her at her domestic in Charlotte, claiming they by no means had any troubles with Shanquella. They changed into crying and say they by no means had a combat. They even see him say they have been choosing out what they changed into carrying to the funeral. They take a seat down, and we have been speak me approximately what colorings we changed into going to put on, and what we have been going to do, and that they take a seat down right here and say, choose out what they changed into carrying to the funeral. And 11, though the FBI in Charlotte has opened the research with Mexican government, Shanquella's mother has criticized the FBI for the dearth of development, as pronouncing sufficient isn't always being carried out with the aid of using the FBI to place the people who assault Shanquella in the back of bars. Local information in Cabo additionally said that Mexican government have issued an extradition and arrest warrant. However, no suspects were named, and consistent with Charlotte Observer, it's far now as much as America. Department of Justice to determine whether or not the arrest warrant issued with the aid of using Mexican government has advantage, and whether or not to extradite a US citizen for a criminal offense dedicated in opposition to any other US citizen in an overseas country. But then the Yankee mainstream media quite an awful lot stopped speak me approximately Shanquella, prompting Twitter customers to specific issue